Hi, I'm Sarah Hansen, Head of Diversity ITV. ITV is quite a large business that does quite a lot of different things. So we're a broadcaster with our family of channels. We've got ITV 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got the HD channels. We've got our sort of news output as well, which is like the backbone of our broadcasting programmes from inside our ITV studio. So things like Coronation Street, Emmerdale, we have our factuals, entertainment, genre programmes as well. So we make a lot of programme in-house, and then we also have a lot of programmes that we commission from independents. We have a core staff of about 4,000, and then we have a freelance that fluctuates, another 1,000 to 2,000 on top of that fluctuates hunger and desire. And I work really closely with Catherine's team and working with HR to try and look at how we move talent through to different programmes. So if you are freelance and we really like the work you're doing, making sure that you're coming back to the central area so that we know you're there, and then we can push you around to different programmes that are going to be appropriate. So, once we sort of spent some time getting to know you and you know ITV, it seems daft to let you go away, and what we want to do is try and encourage people to stay with us. And you may stay freelance, but you might work on a lot more of the ITV genres rather than sort of just going away after.
Hi, I'm Catherine Schleben. I'm the head of recruitment for our shows like Emmerdale and Coronation Street. We are getting line managers come to us and saying, we've been filling these roles with freelancers up until now, but now we feel it's the time to actually fill them with either part-time or flexible time for permanent staff. So they might be permanent roles, but they're actually offering flexible working. So we're hopefully opening up to a whole new workforce there as well. But there is a slight move in some areas away from freelance and encouraging people to be committed to ITV.
Hi, I'm Miranda Whalen, Diversity Manager.
Hi.
As a broadcaster, we're in competition with all the other broadcasters, so we really want the best talent. The best talent comes in all different shape sizes, different excellence, and so what we want is people to feel that ITV is a place that they can contribute their ideas, their creativity, their inspiration, their passion. And I suppose in the remit that Catherine works in, it's the way that we've structured it. It's a really great way for us to actually get to know that individual, for them to share that passion, for them to have the opportunity to talk about the investment that they can make in our business, because that's what we're about. Primarily, it's about the people working together for us to make great content and for us to be a fantastic employer.
I think there is a push now with all of us to make sure that we are getting those opportunities out there. We really want new talent for those production roles as well. So yes, of course, we have people that we know and are experienced and we use regularly, but we're actually doing much more and will be doing much more in the future to get new talent in for productions. And what we'll be doing is creating those talent pools of new people that we can then place into production roles with passion, with energy, and who will be the right fit for ITV. The obvious place is itvjobs.com, so all our roles that are advertised externally are advertised there. We also advertise on LinkedIn, so we have quite a big presence on LinkedIn with a corporate page, and we post our jobs there. We tweet ITV Careers, and we talk about vacancies as well as talking about what's going on within recruitment in ITV. We have another Twitter feed which is ITV Technology, so that's very specifically for a lot of the technology roles and the big changes that are happening in that area. So people can go there and find out about opportunities there. And occasionally we'll advertise across job boards, industry boards and that sort of thing, and networking organisations, and using our diversity contacts.
What ITV's got that's really special is we're a small family with a really big brand. So once you meet somebody like us and you become connected with us, it means that we can connect you across the company in all different ways. And I think that to me is what I'm really proud of ITV for. Is we've got a really strong commitment to diversity, and myself and Miranda work more or less full-time on this agenda, both on and off screen, which is really helpful because we know that to make a difference on screen we need to have the right people behind the camera. So mine and Miranda's main core role is working around the diversity agenda and building relationships with the commissioners, with programme makers, with new talent, with organisations like TV Collective, being perhaps CDN, Media Trust, all those organisations out there that can drive diverse new talent our way.
Attracting diverse talent into our industry is difficult. It has its various barriers and its challenges that we face, and I think our content has a lot to do with that. Outwardly facing, we don't produce as much diverse content in terms of ethnicity, sexuality, disability in particular. So, of course, we alienate ourselves as being an employer of choice, which is absolutely the reverse. We do want that diverse talent to see us as being an employer. We do want them to apply for opportunities. We do want to reflect their stories and their interests and their passions in everything that we do, specifically on screen. So I think there is that perception that we need to actively work towards to make everybody feel that actually, yeah, I could see myself working there.
In terms of talent, we've focused on two main areas at the moment. One is the entry-level talent around diversity, and one is the senior level. So in terms of entry level, we run a number of positive action schemes to try and enable new talent that may need some experience on their CVs to get that experience. So good examples are our apprenticeship scheme, which is for non-graduates, and we're taking people at 17, 18 years old and training them up internally. That's attracting a whole new diverse range of talent out there. It's just fantastic to have that sort of fresh ideas and approach to working in media in the business. And our positive action schemes around disability and ethnicity continue as well. So for people who might find this a barrier because of the level of experience they've got on their CV or their contacts, those schemes are a great way of getting in. And all of those schemes we then feed into Catherine's team in recruitment to make sure that we're sort of succession planning that talent, so we're not just losing that talent after people have trained. Senior level, things like the CDN mentoring scheme I think is a really great source for ITV in terms of senior level talent, and already we've had some great successes of people who've been mentored from people within ITV who we've now got a really good rapport and relationship with, and is getting contracts with ITV. So it's fantastic to see that sort of crossover, and we're inviting mentees to come to our training events, our inductions, so they can really get to understand ITV.
The commercial aspect for ITV has taken on a different approach than perhaps some of the other broadcasters are looking at it. So we have gone ahead to look at the audience makeup for watching our programmes. How diverse is the audience that are watching the programmes that we're watching? They're not watching us. Who are they watching, and why aren't they watching us? What do we need to do about that? And again, it leads back to the perception that perhaps the other broadcasters are a lot more engaged about the diversity agenda, and then how do we make that more effective for us? How do we work with our sales teams to make sure that they know programmes that we're making will attract a certain amount of audiences, so the advertising is right for that? Is the portrayal of our characters authentic enough? Do people actually engage with our characters from a diversity makeup, or are we just ticking boxes? And that's the one thing that we're very keen to make sure doesn't happen. We're not doing it here to make sure we're filling a quota. It's because we know that the ratings, we're all about making money, and so for us to make sure that we've got an audience that is reflective, or that we can reflect content in terms of the audience makeup, is a really important thing for us.
I think it's taken us a while for us to be able to match the data up, to be able to give the commissioners that real insight and production execs that real insight, and just by we have diversity talent champions at ITV, and it's just a skill of one of our champions that actually was able to demonstrate the correlation. And I think that's an example of how it's been taken on, is that's been right up to our CEO's absolutely background, so that's fantastic. Absolutely. And we're using that now, and we're having chats with commissioners and production execs. We're actually able to show them, this is what your programme portrayal looked like, and this is the overlay of your audience who watch that programme. We can actually show them where the audience is changed depending on the representation. And that's been really powerful, because we can convert those ratings into cash to demonstrate the wider audience that we want to attract and why we're trying to do that, which has really shifted mine and Miranda's position of talking to the business, because we're not just talking about it from it is a good thing to do, it does inspire creativity, we know it's healthy for teams to be diverse, but what it really does is also adds value to the bottom line in terms of the commercial value. And we are the only broadcaster that's looking at that data that's coming from the audiences and monitoring all the programme portrayal out of our data and being able to marry it across. So that's really exciting for us.
We do work really collaboratively across all our other broadcasters. I went to the BBC Talent Boost the other day to find some new on-screen talent. We're a part of the Culture Diversity Network, so we're fully across the diversity agenda in terms of how it impacts the business and how we can make it more representative. We work again with the BBC alongside the disability scheme for enabling talent. So we're doing some amazing stuff. We just need to get the message out there so we look more inviting than perhaps we currently are.
I think it is a challenge when the nature of our business means that we can be high profile in the press when things don't go great. And I think that is a real challenge for us because, you know, so much great work goes on, and you've always got two sides to the opinion. So, and a good example is with Coronation Street around the gender agenda and the sexual orientation agenda. There's a huge debate going on there where you've got half of the audience are loving and really engaging with the facts that it's really representative and there's diverse stories coming through that are interesting. And then you've got another half of the population saying it's too much, there's too much here, it's not authentic to be in one street, to be this representative. So you've always got that debate going on. I mean, you could argue that any debate is debate, so it's good because it raises awareness of your programme, but at the same time that also does create a barrier for people in terms of perception of wanting to get into their companies.
Having the opportunity to talk to you guys today about what we're doing and how we're working is fantastic. We've got a fantastic new recruitment team. From the minute they got here, we should have been going, look at us, what have we got? The diversity team does an amazing amount of work in terms of the connections that we have with our commissioners, the confidence that they have in us in knowing that we can find them talent in terms of, you know, supporting them with their diversity needs. It's great, and we should be championing all of those kind of things as well.
For me, there's a real challenge about getting positive role models out there to talk positively about working in TV. So when you see on the web or you hear an interview it's been doing about somebody who's from a minority group who's in a very senior position and they're talking quite negatively about the industry and about it's still a struggle, we're still trying to tackle this aspect, we're still not making progress. For me, that sends a real strong perception message to people out there that might be considering media as a career option. It sort of puts them off. And a really good example was there was a really sort of quite high profile person talking about how negative impact of working in television have been from an ethnic minority group, and it was a real struggle for them. And I had 5 people that morning ring me who were in one of our talent pools saying, I don't actually know if I want to go on this struggle, this journey, if it's really that difficult to work in television. And I think sometimes we don't get enough positive role models saying, do you know what, I work at this level, I'm very senior, you know, yes, there is still some challenges and barriers out there, but, you know, it's a really great place to work as this industry. And I think what I'd like to see is more of a balance of role models, so not only sort of people saying that things need to change, things haven't changed, what's happening, but also people saying, do you know what, this has changed, and this is where I am, and this is what I'm engaging in, this is what I see happening in the industry. And I'd love to see more of that balance from people who are championing particular agendas, talking more open and positively about some of the positive stuff that's going on in the industry.
And I think the best thing that we can do is to actually vocalise a lot more as we're talking about our successes, but also opportunities that are coming up, and for you guys to engage with us to let us know what talent's available, because we are having those conversations whereby people that you naturally would want to have the opportunity to talk to or showcase your talent, we're doing that on an almost day-to-day basis, so talking to commissioners, getting the ears and following through with production managers and execs, so we can raise your profile, at least let people know that you guys are out there and bridge that gap between the broadcasters not knowing where to find you and you guys not being able to get in.
So